Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Off the Record. What's going on? Now, as always, I'm joined with my boy. It's the official show.
What up? What up? What up?
What's up? How you
You
doing?
know what it is, man. I told you stop doing that,
I know
man.
that's
I
why I
told you
did it.
stop doing
That's why I did it. The people love it. The people ask for
Yo,
it. So what we got going, show?
that. Yo, this man right here, I've known for damn, probably 20 plus years, LD.
Damn.
Like
facts,
we go back for real, from
facts.
being around the way to just barbecues and partying, and
Yeah,
I've actually done a couple shows with him. I used to be his DJ. We've done shows together. You know,
facts.
I've probably known this man again 20 plus years. So
Damn, now I want to hear some stories.
everybody, everybody needs to welcome my
Yeah,
man LDJ. I don't know,
Yeah.
Connecticut's own, Nyack's own,
yeah,
LDJ. You know what it
yeah.
is.
Everything. What it is.
You gonna blow up all the spots? Damn, you trying to live somewhere,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
man.
LD, what's up, man? It's been a
Every,
minute.
everything. King, how you?
You already know, man. I'm living this Maryland life. I live right outside of Baltimore now, between Baltimore and DC. You know, I move around. You
Oh,
know,
that's where you be at when you be doing all them rants on Facebook.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Who you got? First of all, I know this is not going to air. I know this is not going to air for another week, but I know my man LD is a big baller, in both aspects because he's a baller in the streets and and LD can ball. I've seen him throw it
Facts,
down on some people. So who
facts.
you got? Who you got winning tonight? Who you got
Uh,
winning the series? Period.
I mean, I got Nuggets winning the series, gentlemen sweep, 5 games.
Mm.
Ooh.
I give Miami their best shot tonight because the Nuggets ain't played in damn near 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're gonna be
Okay.
rusty.
So if Miami gonna get a game, it's tonight. They just finished playing 7. They in shape. Denver, they out of shape right now. They ain't played. They up in Mile High. Jokic been eating big brontosaurus steak. So
He gonna slow down a little bit.
if they lose a game, it'll be tonight. Then after that, it's just
It's done. It's done. Nah, I
easy,
feel
man.
you.
Uh,
It's easy.
I think he's the
Super
only
easy.
one to gain weight in season. I don't know what is going on.
Not him and James Harden. James
Who?
Harden, James Harden to put
Who?
10 pounds on while he's playing
Who?
point.
Exactly.
Harden,
Who?
He
James
goes.
Harden.
Who?
I got another one for you. Luka Doncic had put 10 pounds on you during the season.
True, true.
But
He
What
balled a
what are
little
they
bit.
eating from that country? Just
yeah, I
gaining
don't
that
know.
weight.
They eating good over there.
Hell yeah, they
And
grubbing.
James Harden about to go to Houston, so James Harden going back to Houston. So stay tuned for another 20 pounds on him.
You think
Mm.
so?
When we get to that Houston cooking,
Oh yeah, that food good.
woo, special.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes
food in
sir.
Houston is special.
Yes sir.
Word.
So
So
For sure.
go
LD,
ahead.
man, I love everything you've done, bro.
Appreciate you.
From us growing up together, bro, you've been on multiple platforms. You got interviewed by DJ Ralph McDaniels. You brought them to our hood. You didn't even
Facts.
go out to them. You
Nah,
brought them to our hood. You brought them
facts.
to the Palisades Mall. Hey, I need you to come over here.
Facts.
You want to do this interview? You need to come over here. How
Yeah,
did
this
that
just
come about?
yeah, for the Ralph McDaniels thing, it's just like just grinding and putting projects out, and then just rubbing shoulder. The more you grind, like they say, you grind hard, you get lucky. So when hard work meets, what's they call that? When hard work meets preparation,
Right.
you got to be ready for your opportunity at all. You got to stay ready.
Yes
You
sir.
even got to get ready. So a lot of people, like shout out to Uncle Ralph. I think I met Ralph through my peoples at DigiWax,
Okay.
which is now they're like a streaming company, but they was a platform for the DJs.
Yep.
A lot of artists went through DigiWax so they could get their music straight to the DJs.
I was
And
one
they,
of them.
right, so they had the big DJ pool, so they was tapped in with all the DJs. So they used to have their office in Harlem. So you go to the
Okay.
office, you liable to bump into any hip hop producer, any rap, all the hot rappers that's out at the time. Plus they manage different artists. So that's how a lot of things came about, just grinding, moving around. So then
Okay.
I linked with Ralph. Also, I'm like Pete Rock. I done brought Pete Rock to the block.
Oh, we gonna talk about all that. We gonna talk about all that. You
Nah,
see,
but like
you
some
trying
of
to you
those.
trying to shine already. I know you
Now,
shining, L.
I was about to say some of those relationships led to other relationships.
Yep.
Okay.
But the yeah, the Ralph McDaniels was on the bucket list. And I grew up watching Video Music Box, so that was like probably my favorite, top 5 favorite things I ever did was that.
What would be the other four?
Well, number one, I had the video on MTV with Jim Jones. It was on MTV Jams for like 6 weeks in a row in the
Yep.
top 10 on the countdown.
I was in the video.
But that was major for me on 2 levels. Number one, I grew up watching MTV. Always wanted to be on MTV. Number 2, BET rejected the video, which hurt me. The Black Entertainment Network told me no.
What they
Remember you telling me that?
what they say? Like how do you say that? Like how do
I'm
you?
not even gonna hold you. The politics is so crazy because
Yeah.
they told me the video was too dirty, or like the language, and then maybe like a week later, I seen I go hard in the mother.
Yeah, like
every day in rotation. So it's a politic thing. They bag was bigger, respectfully. So it's politics, but
Ain't that a
MTV
bitch?
definitely was number one. Doing the being on MTV. Then number 2, I would have to say being in a movie. I was in the movie Role Models with the song I did with Redman and Pete Rock.
Okay.
It was on Pete Rock's album.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They actually used the song in the movie Role Models, which is out in theaters. It's a big thing, and they used my verse in the movie.
Right.
But they could have used Redman verse. Could have used
Pete.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
about
I didn't know
you.
that.
That's one thing I didn't know.
That's a fact. So if you ever seen the movie Role Models, you can look it up. They got the kid McLovin, whatever he was.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a scene where the black kid is walking through the party. The little kid's walking through like a big house party. That's my whole verse plays in that movie.
Okay.
So being in that movie, also just landing on a major album. I was on Pete Rock's album. I was on a Redman album. I was on the KRS-One album. So I would put in the same all-in-one pot.
Yeah.
From KRS-One to Redman to Pete Rock, the people I idolized growing up, telling me that I was the truth and I was one of their favorites. Yeah. And no record deal, no politics can make them fuck with you. You can't make Redman do a feature with you. You can't get Pete Rock to give you a beat. You're definitely not getting KRS-One to give you a verse.
Yeah.
Nope.
And they're not gonna tell you nice either.
If they don't mean it, they won't.
They're not gonna even say it. So I know I could tell you a few prominent artists that's buzzing right now, that's popping right now, that try to give Redman a bag for a verse. I was sitting right there. You know me and Red, like Uncle Reggie, like he won't even take the bag. So KRS-One same way, Pete Rock same way. Pete Rock live in Rockland County like we do.
Yeah.
So just people I grew up looking up to, telling me I'm nice and I'm special and I'm one of the ones, like money can't buy that, and that let me know all them years wasn't for nothing. Like I was on the right track.
Yeah.
It's just not enough people heard me. Respectfully.
Do you think when they didn't allow you on BET or put your stuff on BET, do you think that limited or stunted your growth on that?
To me, you know what it was at that time, like I had so much music out that I was just looking.
You have a lot.
Yeah, I was just looking at that song, like because Jim Jones was on it, I want to push it because people be doing a lot of D-riding. So being that you got the Jim Jones record, that got farther than any of my songs by itself.
Yeah, at the time he was blowing up.
That might have been like my least favorite song, but that's the song that was moving.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that day, bro. I remember that day. Like
the craziest thing about that, like I was so fed up with the politics in music that my bag was up at that time. So I said, I don't care if I got to spend $1 million. I'm putting this song everywhere. It became more mental than me actually loving the song. It was just like they're not gonna stop me right now.
I remember, and Tone, if LD doesn't want this to be out there, we can edit this out.
Yeah,
I remember that was the only time I ever seen you get mad because somebody stole the money.
Leave this in the
throwing money.
Leave this in there.
Okay.
I remember. Am I bugging, LD? That's the only time I ever seen you mad, my dude.
That's
You
how I know
always
you was
always fly on the block. You always been my dude. Me and you
Yeah.
never had no
Nah.
nothing. And that day you were like, nah, who took the money? And I looked at you, I was like, bro, you know how to, he was like, nah, I show you good. But who took the money? Everybody else got to
Yeah.
stay. He's treated it straight up like Sonny from the Bronx Tales. You can't leave unless I check you first.
That money, now let's check how that went. I'm gonna tell you why I took that so personal. Cause there's a scene in the video where we throwing $100 bills. Really, it was supposed to be me just throwing $100 bills.
Yep.
Now, one of my mans, I can say this now, God rest his soul. He got killed a few years ago. My man D Block. Of course, he was he's one of them ones as far as on street time, and so he wanted to be throwing his hundreds around, right? So he can't help himself. That's just his personality. So I'm throwing money around. Now he's trying to fake compete with me in my video throwing his hundreds. So of course now the money's getting mixed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing was this: I paid for the video, I paid the director, I paid Jim, I done paid these young ladies that's in the video. How dare somebody take my money at my video?
Yeah.
So I think it was only like $100 bill.
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. And I looked at you like, bro, what are you talking? And that's exactly what you said. You looked me dead in my grill and was like, no, it's not about the money. I got money.
Yeah.
It's the principle of it.
I'm gonna tell you how
respect.
Let me tell you how much of a principle it was. My man Blast, shout out to Blast from Building 3, ST3 Blast, it's my homie. He tried to come up to me and give me 100 and say, here. I said, nah, because you ain't take it.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I remember
you ain't
this.
Take it. I don't want it.
LD, that's the only time I seen you off your demeanor, off like mad. Like you always, I mean, you know, we do what we do in the hood or whatever, but you always smiling.
Yeah. Think about this, right? Now, mind you, I come from a big neighborhood where everybody was supporting and a part of the movement, but financially everything was on me because I had the bag. So when you got the bag, people not gonna volunteer to pay for this and that. Mm-hmm. So for me, and I understood that. That wasn't even about nothing. But my thing was this: if I'm paying for this whole situation, I'm letting everybody come for free, be in the video, be a part of the video.
By the way, he didn't only pay for Jim to be there. He didn't only pay for the club. He also let everybody drink, if I'm not mistaken. You paid for the drinks that whole
gallons of Henny. Damn. And it's so crazy because I'm spending all this money on the strength, right? Redman, Uncle Reggie came for free. Mm-hmm. He's watching me spend money with all these people. He's more famous than everybody. He didn't charge me a penny. He's all over the video. He's in the intro to the video.
Yep.
And then he's all in the video. Yep. He didn't, not one penny. So for me, it's like we putting this whole thing together. We picked that location. Even the location we picked, some of my peoples had a fight there the week before that. So we had to pay for the window even though I wasn't there. So I was already like, come on. Yeah. Now he's stealing my money.
That's some bullshit.
It was a mix up, but it got fixed up.
Oh, good.
And I'm telling you straight up, and God's honest truth, I've known this man for 20 years. I've been around this man in situations from the Bronx to the block in our hood. I've never seen him be out of character, but that one time. That was the one time I was like, yo, this is not LD. Yo. And I'm glad you letting this stay in.
Because
I've always seen you smiling. I always see you smiling. We could be outside, you know, on the block in Nyack, and you always, I mean, you always have fur on, but you always smiling. That smile right there, my nigga, that's the smile you always have. So when people tell me LDJ don't like me, so when people say LDJ this, LDJ that, I'm like, yo, you're not talking about the same LDJ that I know, because this motherfucker's always smiling. What are you talking about?
Now, there's another side to that part of the story. For number one, like you said, it's a very violent neighborhood, right?
Of course.
A lot of the times when we're going out, these people are with me, and then sometimes things happen to other people, and they need a face to blame.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not comparing myself to nobody, but like if 50 Cent goes out and his people's put hands on somebody,
they blame him.
Sued?
They getting blamed 50.
Who's getting sued? Who's getting blamed? Who's gonna who's gonna be in the high? Like Jim Jones just had a situation with Trick in Detroit. Trick got shot by someone in Jim Jones' entourage. But the first thing you see in the headline is
Jim Jones.
Like Jim Jones, you know damn well Jim Jones ain't shoot trick.
Yep.
Obviously, some
And it's the same, and it's the same thing when I used to throw parties and A1 used to throw parties. We were the first people to blame because it was our party. It had nothing to do with us. We in the DJ booth. We rocking the crowd. Had nothing to do with us. But the scapegoat is DJ Show, DJ A1, DJ Fury. Those are the people that were the scapegoats.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you like this. Like from 2008 and 9, I was banned from every club in Rockland, and then they would re-let me back in, and then they would ban me again. The same security used to work at every event. B&E security. Shout out to Ernest. Shout out to Bo. We had so many run-ins. They had to ban me to let me back in to the point where they say, "Why don't you just hire us?" And then we'll make sure nobody comes near you. You have a good time every night. And in hindsight, I wish I did, because one of them nights ended badly. That's another story for another day. But yeah, like with all due respect, like a lot of the things that happen, they'll blame me. Yeah. So when we walk to the club and we walk into the line, they're like, nah, you with the chain, nope. So they remember the guy with the chain. They remember the guy that had the bar. They remember the guy at the front. But it don't. 9 times out of 10, it wasn't me. It was me saying chill. Yep. But then they started telling me, well, if we don't let you in, then they won't come.
Correct.
Yeah. So you can't get in. So
Tone,
you can't get in no more.
Tone, to give you some perspective, the security company he's talking about is the guy we were supposed to have on last week.
That's funny.
Just to give you perspective. Ernest.
Ernest and Bo, ask them. They'll tell you.
That's funny.
When you get them up, ask them about that. That's what I used to like,
why you think I hired them to be my security? I knew what it was.
Let me tell you, at this all-time height, I was in Thanksgiving 2008. I was Thanksgiving dinner in Maryland, Silver Springs, Maryland. God rest her soul, my auntie's house. My aunt Sylvia. It was her birthday yesterday. I was at her crib in Thanksgiving. I'm all the way in Silver Springs, Maryland. My brother, shout out to Fire, he's calling me from outside Liquid Ice. Yo, man, these niggas won't let me in. I don't know if I can say the N-word.
You're fine.
No,
they won't. Yeah, he's like, yo, they won't let me in, man. This is all your fault. I wasn't even with y'all. I said, man, let me talk to him. Put him on the phone. I'm like, yo, that's my brother. He had nothing to do with that. They said, sorry, Al. Nope. I'm all the way in Maryland. I couldn't even fix it for him. We had to go home. He was mad as hell. You know, it'd be a million joints out on that Thanksgiving week. Like,
Yep.
So
I remember those days.
Yeah, they started taking it out on family members. Like, but yeah, it was normally me keeping.
You talking about Fire that's still alive, right? Not the other Fire.
Yes. Yeah. Rest in peace to the other Fire.
Yeah, rest in peace.
That's family. That's home team also.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, B5, Fireman.
Yeah.
To reiterate that, you remember in like Eddie Murphy Raw when Eddie was he was talking about how he got into a fight at a disco with a bunch of people, and it was like everyone just sued him because he was the face of everything that was going on, and basically that shit is what happened. It was on Eddie Murphy Raw. Yeah.
That's what they always gonna do. They always gonna sue the face part of the show.
It's true.
Yeah, but they always gonna do that. So I used to get the blame. So at the end of the day, there was a lot of people. Yeah. For one, respectfully, they didn't like me because of that, but also because of the shine that was happening. Like you on the radio. Yeah. Shout out to Javon. We had the radio. Then I was on 105.1, Javon every week. Then I had Big Ben on Hot 97. Then we got MTV. Then we got the streets. Oh, yeah. Then we got the nightclub. Then we got women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's easy to be like, fuck that nigga.
Yep.
It's easy to do that. Mm-hmm. I used to hear, I'm whack. And that's another thing. Like, I built a long time building my buzz. And there was a lot of people that didn't hear me to the song with Jim. So they was like, this is the nigga they be talking about? This shit's whack. And you know what? Respectfully, the song might have been whack, but they know I wasn't whack. Yeah. You better go look back at the 15 mixtape.
Well, you remember when Joe Budden came up, he had Pump It Up. Ain't no one like that damn song. There ain't no one like that, Sam. But people liked his everything else, but no one listened to everything else. They just Pump It Up was his biggest thing.
So many artists have that. Like someone like a Fabulous. He's maintained a 20-something year career with a limited amount of actual hit records and hit songs. The Streets have maintained them. He'll do the streets would sustain him, and then he'll put the Shorty record out.
Yep.
Probably go gold, if that.
Yeah.
And he barely even drops. He's still going strong 20-some years later. A lot of artists do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They sustain themselves with, not to call it a gimmicky record, but they sustain themselves one way.
It's true.
Like, same thing with Eminem.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Eminem was dumb nice, but he'll put out Hi, My Name Is. Oh, bro, Slim Shady, please stand up.
Yep.
It's like, that's what they was pushing. But you know damn well he get busy.
Yeah.
He get busy.
You know what I'm saying? So you can act like that song with Jim Jones was whack, but you know damn well I get busy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And that was my thing with that.
Well, it was the marketability and recognition. Basically, when they push songs like that, you know, that's what's front and center. Like I said, Jim Jones was the name on the track, so that's what got the most recognition and what showed you more. Same thing with M. He threw some commercial shit like, let's say, Slim Shady, and that they pushed that because it was fun and more people would listen to stupid shit, and more people enjoyed listening to stupid shit. So, and that's what banked him, really, honestly. And
what I didn't like about that song, and I don't care, my bad, LD, if I'm overstepping. I just feel like Jones, for what you paid and for everything that happened, he spit a bum verse. He could have came harder.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was with him when he did his verse, and this is the thing. Like, the verse was okay. Don't get me wrong, but
exactly okay. But to your standards,
it was cool. Because it wasn't really a joint to really get super lyrical on. Because I didn't go
right.
But my thing with him was like he's caught up in that era. Everybody got caught up in that Jay-Z, I don't write my rhymes shit. So it's like everybody wants to be sitting there not writing their rhymes. Shout out to him. He's a professional. He did his job and everything. But you'll end up sitting there for 2 hours trying to do it the Jay-Z way. Or if you actually just write it down, you might be done in 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah, because
everybody wants to show you that I don't write.
This is not LDJ saying this. This is me saying this. I feel like he could have came harder on it, but I feel like he took the dumb way out. But and again, like you said, that wasn't a song that was gonna be super lyrical. That was a song that did its purpose.
Yeah.
That was a song to make you tap into me.
Yep.
Correct.
I was trying to make you tap into me so you can hear shit, I missed all of that.
Yeah.
I missed all the Redman songs, the Pete Rock songs, the LES production. Damn, I missed all of this.
Correct.
And the work was there. And if you want to take it just on real record time, and like, I have Grammy Award winning producers. Like, I got songs made from Adam Dice. I got Jermaine Paul, who won a Grammy with Alicia Keys on the song
Talk
Secret.
Your shit, LD.
We got
Talk your shit.
Together. I'm saying we got videos together, songs together. This is who I grew up doing music with.
Yeah.
You type in Adam Dice on Instagram. He's on tour with Lettuce and John Schofield, and Jermaine Dupri won The Voice, and was background singer for Alicia Keys.
Jermaine Paul.
Yeah, Jermaine was the background singer for Alicia, and he won The Voice. His whole family, Charles, he comes from a dope musical family. But I'm saying this is who I grew up doing music with. So when I would always be doing the mixtape shit for the streets, it was because I couldn't afford to put money behind my songs with Jermaine at that time. And then when I had the bag, it just was the timing. I had the Jim Jones record. If timing went different, I would have been putting that type of bag behind songs I got with Jermaine. So I always had real big records too. Shout out to Cinemax, Dice. Shout out to Nick Casper. Like, I had top-notch production. Teflon. Shout out my man Teflon. Wyclef. I had major producers, LES, around me and contributing and never charging me a penny for music during none of my journey. So
Tone, do you see why now? Do you see now why, Tone, this needed to be done, Tone? Do you see now?
I'm gonna tell you like this, just to make you laugh. My least biggest fan when it comes to my mixtapes is Cinemax. He never wanted me to do none of that because he felt like that was beneath me.
But because he wants you to make the bag. I fucks with Cinemax.
My thing to him was like, okay, we're sitting on 200 records that we can't afford to put out.
Yeah.
It wasn't 200. It was like 1,000.
I'm 1,000. At this time, I'm 21. What am I supposed to do? Wait until I get rich for people to hear me? Yeah. I'm gonna go beat the street up. I'm already in the street. Yeah. Everybody in the street.
You gotta flood it.
You gotta flood it. Out?
Yeah.
When is it? See, no disrespect to him. That's my brother.
Absolutely.
When I'm in the street, he's in the studio. because he works with a million different artists.
Yeah.
I'm just one, right? I'm not in the studio as much as him. His house is a studio. So I'm saying that to say this. He's not outside with me when people are like, when the next mixtape, when the next this. This goes on to this day. So I could go to his house today and he'll be like, why are you putting on the Dr. Dre beat? Why are you rapping to that Alchemist beat? We have a million beats right here. He's not a fan of that.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's him. But I also, I'm from that other world too that are humongous fans of that.
Yeah.
Or to this day, they know every word from mixtapes from 15 years ago. To this day, word for word. If you ever came to any of my shows, you probably see 20 people with LDJ t-shirts on that know every single word, every ad-lib. And that's the people that's with me. I'm not even talking about the crowd. But I'm just saying, as far as in the neighborhood, you know, like in your own neighborhood, people is rarely gonna show you that much that they like this shit.
You're right.
They really have to like it. Mm-hmm. It ain't that much faking in the world. Niggas will be like, yeah, whatever. Like I see you every day. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the crazy part that I always respected about you, and I feel like me and you come from the same cloth almost, where a lot of people where we grew up at didn't fuck with people, artists, DJs, whatever. But if they fucked with you, they fucked with you. You dig what I'm saying? And you were one of the artists that they fucked with. Bread was one of the artists that they fucked with. I was one of the DJs that they really fucked with. A1 was one of the DJs that they really fucked with. So, I mean, you know, I could go on, you know, for maybe one or two more people, but the actual core group of what Rockland County music comes from is those four people, whether it be party or lyrics or, you know, bar wise or whatever.
Yeah, and then at the same time, there's two things, right? There's the pioneers that came before me, and respectfully, some of them ran out of gas because this shit is hard.
It is.
Especially when you're super dope and you don't make it. Yeah. Like, nobody could tell you what that feels like if you're not an artist.
Yeah.
If you're super duper talented and you never make it, I can't tell you to keep going till you're 50 and you didn't make it. So there's people that put work in that's legendary at what they do, but they tapped out at some point because life kicked in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember along the road, like some of the people that was ahead of me, when I passed them, they would just be like, yeah, keep, like that tapped out was like, yeah, keep going. And they always wanted to keep tabs on what I'm doing to see if it was, damn, to validate their decision that they quit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, at the same time, are they wishing you not to be successful? Like,
what I'm saying is they wish me well.
Yeah.
There's a part of them that wants it not to work so they can say, see, that's why I quit.
Yeah.
But that's why I stopped because shit, he didn't make it. Or you see how hard he went. Like there's niggas that told me I would never spend money on my music. And I'd be like, yeah, it shows. So their only enjoyment comes from being like, see, you did. What did it do for you? Type of like, that's the energy.
Yeah.
They'll be happy if you make it, but they're also validated if you don't. It's like if you play basketball, right? And one of your friends was the best basketball player that you know at 15. It's like his dream didn't die till he quits.
Yep.
Because if he's 30, he's still trying out for teams and shit. You like, the Knicks might pick him up one day. You don't know, right? But when he quits, like it's like, see, all them years playing basketball, I'm glad I stopped. And with the IHOP when I was 18, like you trying to have self-validation off of, see, it didn't work for him. Man. That's why I quit. Now you quit because you ran out of gas and you're a quitter. Don't pray on. I never pray for nobody's downfall. There's people that came behind me that I gave them enough information for them to pass me. I would never hope they don't make it. Because nobody was kicking that information back. Everything I learned was from trial and error. Because they always said the game was to be sold, not told. I never did it like that. The people that came behind me that was around me, I tell them, save your money.
Absolutely.
Want me to save you 15 years worth of writing your best rhyme? Save your money. That's more important than writing your best rhyme, right? Because I say to them, you can make the best song of all time better than Michael Jackson Thriller. Tell me what you'll do with it when you're done. Tell me how to get it from A to Z. You know how to get it to the radio? Do you have a clue how to get into radio? Okay,
No,
you know how to
no
get
pun intended.
right. You know how to get it to Instagram. Okay, you know how to get it to YouTube. But this is what I always tell people, right? I got a song called Hot Sauce. My name is Texas Pete. If you don't know to type that in on YouTube, how you gonna find me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you just hoping somebody types in Texas Pete one day and finds Hot Sauce? So it's like a lot of people don't know how to even like, because if you really know, probably the biggest problem you might have is if you make an actual hit record. Because now what? You got money? Because now the fun begins.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think happens when Drake makes a big record? What do you think happens when Beyonce makes a big record? Somebody got to spend some money.
Yeah.
A lot of it. A
Yeah.
lot of it.
Absolutely.
Now I know you said stuff
Don't
about.
think it's free for them.
Now I know you said you know, the YouTube and the self promoting, and you know, do you think that the new style of promotion and way that new artists are actually just pushing YouTube, do you think that affected a lot of what's going on now in music, in the music industry, or like, do we still consider them just YouTube rappers, or like how do you?
I'll tell you, I'll give you a couple quick ways to look at that. For number one, when I had the song with Jim Jones, this was 2010, 11. Instagram came out like 2012, so Instagram wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
But YouTube was out, right? And I'm not gonna say the name of any of these companies, but when I did the song and I did the video, there were certain promotion companies that said, "How much views do you want on the YouTube campaign? 1,000,000, 10 billion, gazillion, 10? It's whatever you want. We'll push the button on that." So 13 years ago, they was telling me they could make my views whatever I want them to be. And they could go back to every one of my songs and do the same thing for a price, right? Now, I didn't know how to do that. So if you don't know how to do that, you can't do that. There's people that know how to do that with Instagram. There's people that know how to do to do the algorithm. There's people that know how to manipulate the algorithm.
Yep.
Of course, I don't know how to do stuff like this, so it's worth a fee. But I'm saying that to say this, right? If I could pay for views in 2010 on YouTube, what do you think you can do in 2023? Right?
Yeah.
Number two is there's a lot of people that trick the game with the fake views and got record deals off that, right? But how long can you sustain yourself with that?
You can't.
If you don't have what it takes,
or the
how
content.
long can you sustain that?
Yeah. You can't.
Because it's make believe.
Yeah, you can't sustain the content demands, and you can't maintain that any quality because it's just watered down, and you know, it's fake at that point.
You see it all the time on Instagram. Somebody got 30,000, 50,000 views. They put up the best picture of all time and get 100 likes.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are fake followers, beloved.
Yeah.
Like, you only got 100. You got 100,000 followers. You getting 100 likes, with your six-pack out standing on a Bentley. Something don't add up with that.
Truth.
The ratio isn't right. You know what I'm saying? And even when the certain people, they go live, I watch their live, it's a gazillion robots in the live.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it might go over a lot of people's heads, but how do you feel knowing your whole life is capped?
Right.
A lot of people believe in the fake it till you make it.
Right, and the reason is because at the end of the day, a lot of men, most of the stuff they do is for women, right?
Truth.
So if you're faking it and you're getting pussy off of faking it, what if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah, if that's their goal, yeah. But if you know,
what I'm saying is a lot of these guys that is their goal.
Yeah. True.
They want to take pictures with celebrities and post it. They know damn well they don't know that celebrity.
Yep.
But if that female thinks you're Drake's man and wants to give you head because she thinks you're Drake's man, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
People got a page full of celebrities they don't know.
Yeah. It's true.
What is the science behind that? Because you want to seem famous? Your followers know you already.
Yeah.
Right.
They know you ain't famous. So it's like,
well,
you showing me that you took a picture with him meant what?
Well, a lot of it's clickbait. You know? A lot of it's clickbait. Yeah.
So if you take a picture with Nicki Minaj tonight, I post a picture with Nicki Minaj on Sunday. Does that mean she been know me, or I was at Summer Jam in the hallway?
Right?
I can make it look like she been on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like the shit is it's ridiculous. And like I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up in that era, so I'm not easily swayed by any of that. That shit don't mean nothing. Like buying verification badges and all that.
Yeah,
Like
Twitter.
that could never. I could never do something like that because that doesn't mean nothing to me. It doesn't hold no value to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even look next to someone's name to see that, and if I see that, that doesn't make me respect you more. So it's like we live in a world where people want to see how many views you have or followers you have to decide how much respect they're supposed to give you.
Right.
And that's I'm not from that world. But some of the most legendary people that ever walked this planet got less followers than bartenders that walk around in their underwear.
Yep.
That never did nothing.
Yep.
We got a fake ass.
Well,
there's a girl, there's a woman right now on Instagram with a fake ass that got more followers than Master P. Yeah. You know what Master P had to do to accumulate those followers? What she had to do?
Yep.
Man.
So it's
You're
like
right.
But
I'm
that's
not
the
from
scope.
that world.
That's the scope of what unfortunately, what the society is right now. That it's so superficial and it's so away from actual talent. It's away from actual like work and ethics on that. It's just so far skewed on that, and I don't know how we fix that.
Listen, you could put 100,000 people in line right now. If they told a record exec LDJ is the best rapper I ever heard in my life, the first thing he's gonna do is say, "How many followers does he have?"
Yep. Absolutely.
It's not gonna be, "Let me hear him." It used to be, "Let me hear it."
Yeah.
Let me hear it. First thing they're gonna do now is look. Even if you go to a meeting, they're gonna have you pull your numbers up on Instagram before they listen to one song. They're gonna have you pull up your Spotify. They're gonna have to pull up your iTunes before they listen to one song. So it's like, if I could go buy 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
Should that make you more inclined to listen to my song and think I'm good? Because if that's what the case, then I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want it that way.
Tone, talk to LD real quick. I gotta use the bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being honest. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't edit that part out either.
Nope, that's staying in.
We can't edit that either, so.
No. But like I said, like, how do we fix something? Like, how do we go back to talent? Because like a lot of hip hop right now that these kids are listening to, I don't respect it. Like, there's a lot of things that are just so whack out there that I don't know why. Yeah, I don't understand why it's the way it is. Because I grew up in the same generation as you.
There's three things that can happen for that to happen. Number one, social media would have to crash completely and go out of existence.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Number two would have been if the people that came in the generation before this one, where you had to be talented to make it, would have kept that tradition alive. But what they did was they kept the new tradition alive, was chase the money, chase the numbers. So they came in the talent era, and then the game switched to the money era, and the people that, no disrespect, but the Jay-Z's, the Puffs, the people that got passed the torch from the old regime that was over them, from the Jimmy Iovine's, from the Barry Weisses, from the Tommy Mottolas.
Yep.
They could have made it a talent thing, right? But they kept the business regime going because they're trying to become billionaires and moguls.
Yep.
So they kept it machine style. They could have made it so that it was like that because they're from that. You grow up listening to Whitney Houston, like you had to really be able to sing to be an artist back then.
Yep.
Right? So imagine that. God bless the soul. I'm just using an example.
Absolutely.
Imagine if Whitney Houston became a CEO and didn't care if you could sing no more.
Yeah.
It's like we need Jay-Z and them to care about who's talented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because without what we got without that. Or, and the third thing was, because I was two, the third thing would be is if you skip the generation and Puffy's sons and people like that became the CEOs and the moguls, and they took it back to you got to be actually talented, regardless of numbers and analytics and your damn Snapchat and TikTok. Let me hear you.
Yeah. How much do you think of that is we were talking about political and politics, but a lot of that translates directly into politics because the way of life is a lot different than it was then. Because it's very superficial now, but in the politics now that people are trying to manipulate what's going on with what people are seeing, what people are hearing. They're trying to ban books down here. I'm in Florida. They're trying to ban books down here, and it's just ridiculous. Like it's
They
just
want you to be dumb.
yeah, exactly. And I think that worked directly with what's going on in modern music, modern hip hop. Like I don't know if you've been listening to anyone modern, or anyone that that it is like up in the charts right now. But
Okay, there we go. I'll give you somebody that's modern, that's from Florida. Kodak Black,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's the times we live in. He's one of the leaders of the new school.
yeah,
NBA YoungBoy,
yeah,
Derek, Kodak.
yep,
These are the guys that's the leaders of that next wave of that. And then you got the Baby, Little Baby, those kind of artists.
yeah,
All those guys. Shout out to them. They all do. And if you go a bracket underneath them,
yeah,
it's little TJs, and it's all of those, little TJ era, Ice Spice, that whole pocket. Then you got a whole bunch of them like Glorilla, Scarlet,
yeah.
all of them, So
Now, how do
I
you
listen.
feel? How do you
I
feel
listen to
about
all
that?
of that.
How do you feel
Huh?
about translating your style and your lyricism to what they're doing? Like I like do you feel that it's that getting watered down at all?
I mean, it's been watered down for a long time. So, I mean, if you really think about it, like, it's always, like, I've been a fan of hip hop since I was a little kid, right? So, even back in the day when there was Big Daddy Kane,
Yeah,
Nas, all them, there was still MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, that was selling more than everybody. The
yeah,
Fresh Prince, Jazzy Jeff, doing silly videos. Parents don't understand.
yep,
I think I can fight Mike Tyson. He's winning the Grammy. But the Coogee Rap ain't winning no Grammy.
yep,
So it's like, it's always been that aspect. Like there's Griselda, and then there's Little Baby in them,
yeah,
right? Hip hop has always had aspects of that, where there was people like, what was that super militant rap group that was out early 2000s? The super duper militant black group. Because they reminded me of like, they was after the Public Enemy.
Public
After
Enemy?
that.
Oh,
Who?
I said Public Enemy, but you said after Public
Nah,
Enemy.
way after that. Well, shout out to YG. My nigga YG loves this group. I forgot the name of this group. They was super nice. It was two dudes. Everything was like anti-society, anti-everything. I forgot their name, but I
interesting.
forgot their name. But there's always been hip hop has always had underground people that were super dope.
Yeah.
Talib Kweli,
Yep.
Mos Def. And then there's always been people that got more attention and more shine that wasn't nice like them. Like around 2000, 2001, when I was really coming into my own, feeling like I could rap better than anybody in the world.
Yeah.
Then I seen that same year 106 in Park came out. And then there was Bow Wow, and there was Nelly.
Yeah.
And it was like, should I throw my notebook away and say, fuck this shit?
Well, Bow Wow was what, 13 years old at the time?
I'm like, it's Bow Wow, it's fucking Nelly,
Yeah.
it's fucking
Well-
the same lunatics.
Well, a lot of that is because they played to both sides of the ball. They did a lot of features in R&B. So R&B was what was selling a lot of records back then too, because they were able to cross over like that. When people stayed in one genre and one format, that kind of limited them. What stations they could play them.
This is how
Yeah.
this is how my mind expanded by traveling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before I ever started traveling, I just thought all of those guys sucked.
Well, yeah.
Like Lunatics, Nelly. I hated Project Pat, 3-6 Mafia. Like,
Yeah.
I just couldn't understand
Yeah.
how anybody could think this is any good, right?
Yeah.
But then when I started going down south, I lived in Atlanta for a little
Different
while.
lifestyle, yep.
99. Then I moved to Virginia for a little while.
Mhm.
Then I started saying, listen, they don't give a fuck about the shit we be listening to. They never even heard of a
Nope.
lot of the niggas we love.
Nope.
They never even heard of them.
Not even a little bit.
So I remember getting into a heated, stupid, passionate argument about this. I said Jay-Z was better than Master P. I almost got killed.
Down there, down here, it's
200. It was a project full of angry country niggas, and I argued down to the death with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you kidding me? Master P is horrible.
Yeah.
One of them almost had a heart attack when they heard me because they didn't even think. It wasn't more so that I was wrong. It was like, are you crazy?
Like that's their
Master P is like Tupac.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well,
they couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, and it's like I said, it's like territorial back like down here. It's different. Like Luda down here, and then you had Andre, and then you had a lot of them just like they got respect from the location.
Tone got both sides of the coin. So Tone is born and raised in Jersey, but now lives in Florida.
Yeah.
So he's both sides of the coin where he's a real hip hop fan. But like if you go back on our upper episodes, like me and Tone are like, Kodak Black is the shit. What are you talking about? You remember that? Remember that, Tone?
Yeah.
We both looking at each other.
But
like
it's different.
Kodak Black.
It's just that him and LD we were just talking about it. I was like, it's a different style, but yeah, it's a different style. Like he gives him his respect, but it's just different. It's just everyone like down here. It's just definitely a different style of hip hop, and a lot of people.
But also like New Yorkers infiltrated a lot of these states and areas. New Yorkers go everywhere.
Yep.
And then never leave.
Yep.
And then the influence is strong, and a lot of people want to be from New York. That's why you could be in New York, you could be in Pause, you could be in Florida, and have an artist that has the cadences of a Rick Ross. Mm-hmm. That's the New York cadence. You might slow it down, but we know where that rhyme, with those rhyme patterns, that's New York, those rhyme patterns. You go to Atlanta and hear someone like T.I. Yeah, it's a different slang and word pronunciation, but those cadences are East Coast cadences.
Yep.
Even Lil Wayne, you hear different, like these cadences is East Coast cadences. Now fast forward, even someone like a Moneybagg Yo, dumb nice on the low, like when he like if you really listen to some of his rhyme patterns, you could tell these guys studied East Coast rappers.
Yeah.
They might make hooks that are more universal than the East Coast artists, but listen to the way they make the words rhyme with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the pattern.
Yeah, they do a lot of manipulation and different accents on the different emphasis on different parts of the word than we would normally from North.
You know what's crazy? That, and Tone, I told you this before LD chimed in and got on with us. There's only a handful of rappers, and I really want to say a handful. I mean, I really want to say like 2 rappers. I'm going to say a handful that actually talk and rhyme the same. You get what I'm saying? Like when you talk to them, you can hear their music. And the only 2 rappers that I could ever think of is you and DMX.
Everybody always says that, yo.
Because
really
you don't
like
you don't make your rhyme about what you're trying to say on the mic. This is you.
Yeah.
Nigga, once again, me and this man goes back 20 plus years. I've talked to this man in the trenches of our hood. I've talked to him in barbecues when he's lit and when we sipping Henny. I've talked to him in the club and he's talking in my ear because I fucking can't hear him. And this man's cadence is always the same. Like, yo, we just talking. What's up? Like, my bad, LD. Like, you know what I mean? But that's the same way he rhymes on the mic. You get what I mean? Like,
it's like natural.
He doesn't decide to be, oh, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. He'd be like, yo.
The delivery.
He'd be like, yo, my son, I got this pack, but he gonna not do that. Like, and that's his shit. Like, and LD Tone, didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
Watch when you get to talk to LDJ. The way he sounds in his fucking song is the way he sounds in real life.
True.
And that's the only other person that I know is DMX. Because when you talk to DMX, he always talk like this. And that's the way he rhymes. I only can name 2 rappers that ever did. I mean, Kiss is kind of the same way, but Kiss has to, vocalize his voice because he's so fucked up.
Shout out to Kiss. I was just talking to Kiss maybe an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
See,
Shout
why
out
you
to
trying to
Kiss.
flex on me though?
Right?
Bro?
Not because you brought his name up. I ain't bring his name up. You know, this is facts.
I know. So you wanna talk about? And part of me if I didn't catch on to this because I had to go. But you talk about relationships. How did you and Red get that close relationship?
This is a funny story. My man Cinemax was working with Redman. He was recording them. He bumped in Cinemax. Got his own story. He bumped into Redman in Manhattan somehow, some way. Long story short,
Tell Cinemax, give me a call. We'll have him on here too.
Facts. So Cinemax linked with Red. He started recording Red in Redman's studio in the city, right? So this first time he went, he had my man Blam with him. Another artist, legendary artist from Rockland. Shout out to Blam.
I'll take Blam too. Blam got stories for days.
Yeah, speedy recovery for Blam. Shout out to Blam. So at this time, I was getting a lot of money. So I was being ignorant in a way, but this is how the story goes. So Max was bringing Blam with him because him and Blam they had a studio together at the time. So Max started bringing Blam with him every time he recorded Redman. So the number one thing is you never want to tell a rapper at the time that you're a rapper, right? That's supposed to be taboo. Rappers don't want to meet rappers. They want to meet women and producers or engineers.
Yep. Absolutely.
So it was always dope for Redman to meet a producer because you either could give him beats, you can record him. It's not a threat in any way to him. But it always seems as a threat you bringing your rap nigga around. So Blam was a super dope rapper, and Blam was very humble. So Max was bringing Blam, and Blam was pretending like he was a producer, just to go vibe. So he would be in there with him for weeks. They going for like weeks. Now he loves Blam. You know what I'm saying? And my attitude, I'm at the peak of feeling like I'm nice. I'm getting money. I'm not fucking going over there, sitting in there all night pretending like I make beats. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
I see you doing it. I can see you doing this too.
So I don't want to meet him like that. If I meet Redman, I'm LDJ and I rap. That's how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
And that's how it went.
With the fur hood and all that.
So this is how it goes. I had a girl at the time. So one night Max was like, yo, you and Shorty come, we go check Redman. We go check Redman. Redman's working on a mixtape. It's like, I forgot the name of it. Some fire Redman mixtape.
It was early. When you and Red started chilling hard body, I was like, what the fuck? But it was early.
So the first time I met him, he was working on a mixtape. Somehow, some way, while the beat's playing, and it wasn't even a Cinemax beat, which is crazy, right? So it was just the beat was playing. He's like, my man spits, but I was already in my head writing the rhyme to the beat because I'm here, so I'm gonna start writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My girl's here, I'm here. What am I here for if I'm not gonna? I make music and Redman's here.
Yep.
Redman does his verse. He comes out, smoking, chilling, vibing. You got something for that nephew? I said absolutely. I went in there, one take my shit. I come out, Redman says, yo, Chris, I'm going back in. I'm about to change some shit in my verse. I could have died right there.
I was going to say, I bet you were living on fucking, you were like, damn.
He said that in front of Shorty? Even if I never make it, that story stays forever.
Hell yeah.
No, not to get too far into your business, but is that the Shorty you got your son with? Oh, all right.
No.
I was about to be like, he made a whole fucking son off of that.
This is before that. So, Redman changed his verse. We did the song. And shit made his mixtape.
Right.
Nice.
Ever since then, I was nephew. I never pretended like I make beats or none of that. I was I don't know if I was too cocky at the time or arrogant or self-assured. Like, fuck it. I'd rather not meet him. I never met nobody and pretended like I don't rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The crazy part about you and Red's relationship is I know Red separately, right? And I don't have the relationship with Red the way you do. I'll be the first one to admit that. But when Red sees me, it's all love. But when I remember when that I guess transpired, not when that happened, because I don't know when that happened. I remember you getting so much hate
Oh yeah.
because everybody was like, "Oh, this nigga think he the one now. He think he the king now." And I'm like, "Let this man live. Like he
And
got the
it's so crazy.
cosign from an OG. What is the problem with this?"
Haters.
And it's crazy because with all due respect, it's not even like at that time Redman didn't have nothing on the radio. It's
Correct.
not like he didn't have the label to put me on. It was
Correct.
just like any help you need, I got you. And if anything, the most thing he ever did was just give me positive encouragement, like positive encouragement, like that. Yo, you one of them ones. I'm telling you, blah blah blah. Stay on your shit. It was always that, and coming from him, it was dope. So, and of course, anytime I need a feature, he would do it.
Yeah.
And I know that's not normal.
No.
Let's not act
Not
like
even
that's
a little.
But
Not even a little bit.
side, hold on the side note too. What I love about you, L, is you didn't take advantage of that.
Nah.
You didn't call him, "Let's do a mixtape together. Let's do
Nah.
this." Like you would be on your bar shit, you would be on your rap shit, and every once in a while, I would see a track with you and Red, and I'd be like, he felt like this was gonna be the one, and he wanted Red to be on it.
See, now at one point in time, he did get a situation with his label called Gilla House, and he wanted me to sign to that. So at that point in time, he had an artist named Ready Rock. We started doing a lot of collabs together, and Red would get on him. So then I started having so much shit with him that it was just regular to me. Like, I don't even like that song. Yeah, that one's alright. Nah, I don't like that one. Niggas be like, yo, you got songs with Redman that didn't make the mixtape, didn't make the album. Redman didn't make the mixtape. Like, nah. That shit's alright. Not saying he's alright, but for me, like, I want the song gotta be fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never a person that just likes the song because of who's on it. Yeah. I gotta like the song.
See now,
a lot of the biggest collabos, I don't love those songs.
Yeah.
Like I like Griselda, I like Eminem. I don't love their song together. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to.
You got a song with Benny?
Facts.
Yeah. You got a song with Benny too, because you know Benny be around the way sometimes.
Yeah, Benny's on my album, King, my last album. It's called Crackhead Dancing, produced by Cinemax.
Told you, need to call Cinemax, tell them I want him.
I'm not gonna lie, that was actually a situation where I was almost pretending like I'm not a rapper. It's not that I'm pretending, but I'm just there chilling. We was with them niggas every day for like a week before I said a word. And next thing you know, we had a song.
In the hood, or you were out in Buffalo?
We was pulling. This was when they was in. You know, Benny be
Queens?
rapping. Benny be rapping a lot.
That's why I said in the hood, or
my man Ak was like this with Benny.
Right. Yeah, I know Ak, nigga. I know
Ak. Of course.
Yeah.
Ak started having Benny pull up, and then we started pulling up on them, and then it'll be like, yo, they said come tomorrow too, and tomorrow niggas come, and then like with them, they're very close knit. I've never seen them with different people.
Nope.
So when they see you 3 days in a row,
it's like the mafia with them niggas.
You damn near their cousin, because ain't no new face.
Tell me, am I wrong? It's like the mafia with Griselda and Benny and them boys. Yeah, if you bring me around, which I know you probably would, and if you wouldn't, that's fine. But if you brought me around, like you said, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, they're gonna be like, all right, this nigga show's good. You get exactly. It's the mafia, and I'm not just saying it about Griselda and Benny. I feel like that's kind of our culture where we grew up at. Like where we come from.
The first day you come around them, they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck?"
Question.
Who are you with?
Yeah.
But they know you got to be with somebody to even be there.
Correct.
And then once you around, okay, that's okay. What up? So they were the same thing with 38 Specials, my man. Shout out to everybody at Trust.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Like I've been in Specials' living room, his cribs, his mansions, his low cribs, his big crib. Like it ain't no different faces around.
Yeah, I've been trying to reach out. I've been trying to reach out to Ak to see if Benny could do the show, but that's for a later date.
Yeah. I could make that happen for you. If anybody could do it, it's Ak. But yeah, like we know a lot of the same people. Like, and he be with people from Spring Valley that I know. Bono.
Yep.
Different people, like small. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why I said where we come from is crazy because everybody wants to call it upstate, which I guess technically we are, but I don't like to call it upstate because there's a lot of state above us, right? But
yeah,
we're almost like the mafia because I met you just being in the music circle, and I know for a fact you didn't trust me at first. I didn't trust you at first.
Don't do
I
that.
didn't trust you at first either, my nigga. Like I'm gonna be real, but once we saw that we knew the same people, then I feel like that's when I was like, all right, this pretty nigga is trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being honest with you. But I have also a Rockland person that when I used to run around with my Terror Squad chain, he is on my Facebook page, and I was just like, yo, what's the like on my Facebook status? I put up like, what's the first thought you thought about me when you first saw me? And the nigga straight up put up, yo, I was gonna rob you for your Terror Squad chain, and I was just like, what the fuck? And he straight up said, Brad told me not to because you're cool. You're one of them niggas, like you one of us. And I was just like, oh, my nigga, like you were gonna rob me?
Chill out.
Like, he was like, yeah, nigga, I was finna take your Terror Squad chain off your neck. And I was like, damn, my nigga, like I had you in my house. Like he was like, but I didn't do it. And I'm like, yo, we some mob niggas in Rockland. Like we unless unless you've been around the block, you know what I mean? Like you can't. I can pull up to building 3, which I've had in the past, and giving out produce and shit like that. Niggas see me, yo, show what up, blah blah blah. But I wouldn't do that if I was a quote unquote civilian. I wouldn't do that shit, like because I wouldn't be able to get away with it. You get what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, it's like who your introduction is from is the beginning. And even if that person that introduces you is strong, you still my man's man. We still have to have our own rapport.
Yep.
After that, because he's not always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? And you could leave and the nigga could be like, yeah, that's your man, but fuck that. So eventually you still gotta have your own rapport.
Because am I lying or not? Your man that introduced me to you could be the nigga that go to the store for you. He's not really a real nigga. He's just he's just the doja.
Yeah, if I tell you how many times that happens, when niggas be somewhere else, they tell you how much they run the neighborhood, and then you go with that person to the neighborhood and realize he's the runner for the neighborhood.
Correct.
Like he just goes to get blunts and water bottles and Chinese food, and that's it. Yeah, he's from there.
I promise you never inclined me in that.
Nah. What I'm saying is there's levels to this. Like you might be from that from that neighborhood. So yeah, nobody's not gonna do nothing to you, but you're probably nobody. And guess what? The nobodies are the safest people in the neighborhood because nobody's worried about you.
Yep.
Correct.
If you're
everybody wants to claim building 3 until it's time to it's time to go to the store.
Watch this one. Nobody's ever plotting on robbing the guy that has 0.
Yeah.
So if you don't have no chain, you don't have no money, you don't have no car, everybody in the neighborhood loves you.
Yeah.
Because you don't have nothing for them to be mad about.
Correct.
Yeah. The envy comes when you start having shit. If you don't have shit, you never got to worry about nobody plotting on you.
Right up.
The fuck I'm gonna rob you for practice? Just practice?
Correct. There's a couple Town people that, I'm like, I'm glad I'm cool with them. I'm glad, like, my name ring bells in almost every hood in Rockland County. And then there's certain people I'm like, all right, well, I really don't want you to know my name because I don't know, like, what you be doing. But
right.
Same thing.
If you hear somebody say something bad about me, say
never, ever.
Say what he do to you. Tell me.
Ever.
Say
ever.
Why don't you like him?
Ever. I've never
gonna be short after that.
I've never ever ever had somebody come up to me at least say something bad about you, and I can stand on that. And there's very few people, because I feel like a lot of people know who I fuck with, and a lot of people know who I don't fuck with. And there's certain people that you're gonna talk about to me that I'm gonna be like, all right, cool, let me call him real quick, and you're gonna have to say that to him.
That's the fun
You get what I'm saying? Like I'm, and you know me, L. You know me, L. I'm like, I'm not the roughest, toughest, gangsterest motherfucker around, but I'm gonna keep it real.
You know what the coolest thing in the world is about being somebody that doesn't start trouble, that don't bother nobody? When you actually have to come out of character, and niggas know it was valid.
Yep.
Right? If you don't bother nobody, and you hear, yo, this nigga did such and such yesterday, it's like, what did they do? Right? Because I know that's not his character, so they had to do something.
Yep.
So I live and now it's even more extreme than that. I got custody of my son. He lives with me. I can't afford to get caught up in some dumb shit. It has to be about something. You know what I'm saying? Even with being said, he's taking advantage. He's supposed to be sleeping right now. I hope we could do like an extended version of this, because he's gonna be up till midnight if I stay on here.
No, we gonna cut this. But I do have one more question, because I'm pretty sure the people want to know.
Sure.
Your relationship with Pete Rock, where did that come from?
Redman.
It came straight from Red?
Came from Redman. No, I mean, it's legal now. So at that time, I was a big weed dealer.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never met you at that way.
Right, at that time. Back once upon a time.
Allegedly. I never met you.
Allegedly, once upon a time, they say that, right? So
weed? What's that? What's weed?
Right. So, allegedly, Redman smokes, right? Allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
So allegedly, P Rock might smoke a little bit once upon a time. Right?
Allegedly.
So it was like, hey, guess what we have in common? We love music and we smoke. And guess what? Pete Rock lives in Rockland County, next to you. I'm gonna make sure this happens. So next thing you know, Pete Rock's in my house 3 days a week. Thanksgiving, he's pulling up on the block with his laptop playing 40 beats. The whole neighborhood can't believe Pete Rock's there.
Outside.
I got Pete Rock in the Elks. I got Redman in the Elks and Redman's in the bathroom smoking in the Elks and
Shout out to the Elks. And if you weren't there, you weren't supposed to be there, but we had some wild times there.
But I'm gonna end you with this story right here. And this is why I always love Redman. One day Redman was at the studio. Pete Rock called him, said he was about to rap his album. He wanted Redman to get on there. Redman says, take a ride with me over there, nephew. I ride with him over there. Pete Rock makes the sample, plays the beat. He left us in the room for a second. Redman looks at me and said, nephew, if you know like I know, if you know what I know, you'd be working on your verse. You know what that meant. My verse was the first verse that was done. So I end up on the song. The song ends up on Pete Rock's album. It ends up in the movie Role Models. And then I got my first check in music from that.
That was your first check?
I got $5,000 for that verse. I never got paid for a verse.
That was your first check in music ever? What year was that? I feel like you, I mean, again, I'm dating myself. Maybe I feel like you should have been paid before that.
Yeah, well, see, when that happened, I started getting paid for a lot of other shit that they owed, because when you get a publishing company, which
2008, that movie came out.
Yeah, so the song went on, it came out that same year, it went on Pete Rock's album, Adventures in Rhyming, something like that, and then it made the movie. So that came from Redman saying, take a ride with me over there. And then, like I say, they say success is when preparation meets opportunity. I was prepared. So I was prepared to write a verse in 5 minutes because of all those years of putting in work. You know what I'm saying? And verse was done. My verse was done so fast, I helped Pete with some of his. And then I didn't. I mean, Bob.
Yeah, we get it.
I get you.
Yeah, we get it.
I get you, my nigga. I get you, my nigga. I got you, my nigga. Trust me.
But yeah, the song made the album, made the movie, and I got a check from that. And then we got offered to be in a video game to Skate or Die, EA Sports. So a lot came from Redman just saying, "Take this ride with me, nephew." And then my relationship from Pete Rock just went from there. He ended up giving me production for my albums and mixtapes, and yeah, we have an ongoing relationship to this day.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
But I got more stories, man. So we got to do this again.
We gonna definitely gonna have you on again, so we can continue this.
We didn't even touch into how I met Benny, so we gotta bring you.
We got a lot.
We gonna come back.
We gonna run it back. We gonna run it back.
Yeah, we gonna run it back. Tone right here is the one that runs everything here, so we gonna run it back. You know, and we'll have you on in a couple more weeks.
Yeah, because the next time I'm gonna give you a little more industry.
Nice.
A little more industry.
Oh, there's something to look forward to.
Industry people that
see. This is why I love LDJ. He gonna leave you on the cliff.
He gonna catch those,
and it might push you off. So with that being said, Tone.
LDJ, thank you for joining us. Real People Off the Record podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week. Deuces.